Good morning, y'all. Family, it's February 9th, and I wanted to come to you today and play my motivational music for you. Miles per gallon. Okay, that's why I like that. It will easily calculate it for you, so you don't have to do that. Miss Diva Trucker 43 coming to you today because I wanted to give you an always have to be in that truck. You don't always have to be, you can go out here, and this is a way that you can experience different things in life driving around in a truck getting paid for it. Yes. You know what I'm saying? And all I had to do was just happen to be traveling through the state and break down. So hey fam, it's your girl, Miss Diva Trucker 43, and I'm coming back to you today on another video about how to become a trainer at KLLM. I just today recently finished my training program, so now I am what is called got my certificate of completion. So now I am a certified, well, not certified, but I got my certificate for being a driver trainer. Okay, so that is real exciting for me. It's a new challenge for me, and the reason that I decided to become a trainer is because I listened to so many people's stories about their experience with trainers, and some of the bad experience that they may have had with a trainer. And even with my training at KLLM, I had a good experience. I did not have a bad experience. And I want to be able to pass that on to other people that are in the industry. And also it's nice to know that being a trainer is a privilege. Okay, nobody's making you become a trainer. You don't have to be one. When you're selected to be a trainer here at KLLM, that's kind of like an honor. That's a privilege, something that they have stacks of applications all the time, wanting people wanting to be trainers, and they have to turn them down. Okay, but to be able to be selected and be able to be approved as a KLM trainer, I mean, that speaks volumes, and it's a privilege. Also, I wanted to be able to help people start their career in trucking. Somebody helped me, and I want to be able to pass that along and help others that may be coming into the trucking industry. And I figure that one thing to do in order to do that is to become, a trainer. It also gives me experience as, when I do decide that I want to have my own employees, I will have that knowledge on how it is to train someone to drive a truck and do what they're supposed to do safely out here on the road. Mind you, I don't know everything. Okay, I'm new. I have passed the qualifications for what KLLM has put in place for myself to be a trainer. A lot of things are taken into consideration, such as your logs, such as safe driving, such as any incidents, such as tickets. There's a lot of things that's taken into consideration. Have you been through winter driving? Those things. Are you a good communicator? Can you communicate effectively? How you deal with your customers? Those things. How are you getting your loads there on time? And to be a very professional person in this industry, that is very important. And you have to have patience when you are trying to train someone in this industry and being a driver. The school is going to, when you go to school, you're going to learn, you're going to be in school for 3 weeks. Okay, 22 days I think it is, and you're just getting the basic fundamentals, you're getting some techniques, but you're not going to get the real experience until you get one-on-one with a trainer on the job training. That's what we call it. And you can go anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks. If you are an experienced driver, like you had a CDL before and you didn't qualify for OTR within a certain period of time, then you will come in as a refresher and do 3 weeks just to make sure that you know what you're doing out here on the road safely. Now, if you come from out of the school, you have to do a minimum of 6 weeks in order to upgrade and be promoted to a first seat driver. Okay. When you leave home to come to trucking school, you need to prepare yourself and let your family know that you will probably be gone for 3 to 4 months, okay? Because you're going to be in school for 3 weeks, okay? Then you're going to go out with a trainer for 6 weeks. Then you're going to come back in and upgrade. Once you upgrade, you want to go out as well until we're able to get you back home. So prepare your family that you're going to be gone that long, okay? So they're not worrying about when are you coming home. Set that expectation up front so they are aware that you are in training. It's just like if you went to the military. You only have certain times that you can call home and things like that. It's just like that. When we train, we want to have 100% of your attention. So a lot of trainers don't allow you to have, cell phones, not that you're not allowed to have it, but it will be on your off time when you're in a sleeper berth or anything like that, but not while you're in a classroom setting. So we try to say that when we're in the front of that truck, it's classroom setting. Okay. So when you're in the back of it, if you need to call home or anything like that, we ask that, you put your cell phones up because this is a learning environment. And sometimes when you get calls from home, it could distract you in a way that you don't want to be out there. Some people have never been out their state. Like if you're from Mississippi, we're from the South, and a lot of us never been to California. We never been to New York. Are you prepared to go on these bridges? Are you prepared to go through the mountains? Are you prepared to go through the snow? So a lot of us are going to get homesick. Okay. So we try not to come to the terminal when we're on training because the first thing that you want to do is you want to go home. Okay. So we want to get that training done. You got to realize that you are doing this to change your life. You are doing it for the better, to better yourself. And in order to do that, you must receive the proper training so you can be successful out here on this road. We want you to be professionals out here. We want you to be able to learn the tools and the techniques that it will take. You're going to learn so much in that 6 week period. And your trainer is responsible for you. I will be responsible for you backing. I will be responsible for you making sure that you know how to couple and uncouple your trailer, how to put the landing gear up, how to go in and take care of what your bill of lading is. I need to show you how to move your tandems, and a lot of things that you will learn on the road you do not get in school. Okay, school is basic just to get you the fundamentals that you need, that is required for you to get a CDL. A lot of people say, well, Miss Tamara, how long will I be driving on the road? I expect you to drive as much as I drive. You have your CDL when you come out with me. So you're under the same rule that I am, the 8, the 11, the 14, and the 70. Okay. So if it says that's 11 hours of driving, no, I'm not going to put a new student in the driving seat to drive for 11 hours a day. You wouldn't do that. But gradually you want to build yourself up that you do, maybe a couple 100 miles that day. Maybe, you add on to it. And then it always get a feel of what your student is learning and maintaining. We all learn differently. So I just have to interview my student before we go out to make sure that they're going to be able to live up to the expectations that I will have for them being on the truck, because there's no reason for us to leave the yard if you are, I'm only going to drive 4 hours a day, or I'm only going to do this, or I'm only going to do that. I'm only going to drive in the daytime. I'm not doing any night driving. So you have to be willing to learn. And if I ask a question and you come back with me with a question, it lets me know that you're not open to listen. So, you know, we have to be professional. We have to be courteous to each other. We have to respect one another. And at the end of the day, it's nothing personal. Now, there's things that you should expect from your trainer, such as to be able to teach you something. I have to teach you how to use the Qualcomm. I have to teach you how to use a, you will be required to keep a paper log while you're on the truck with me, okay? You will be required, because that Qualcomm helps you out a lot. But if that Qualcomm goes down, you have to be able to log on your own, okay? So you will be logging 6 weeks on a paper log, and it must be filled out correctly in order for you to upgrade, okay? Another thing that we look at as being a trainer, we're going to be grading you. You know, we have a thing where, you know, week one, week two, what we expect out of you to make sure that you're progressing. By your third or fourth week, we should be running pretty much like a team. You should be able to take the initiative to get out the truck, couple your trailer, move. I should be able to monitor you moving your tandems. I should be able hooking up your hoses, you know, different things like that. I am training in an automatic. Okay, a lot of our trucks are going to. We got a lot of new trucks that come in. Our Freightliners are starting to be automatic. Our Volvos are automatic. So I don't know, but it looks like we're turning into like an automatic fleet, or we're getting a lot of automatic trucks. Okay. You can train with a company driver or an independent contractor. You're not pressured in going either way. Whatever you feel comfortable with once you come out of training, then that's what you do. If you want to do company for a while and you feel like you need some more, you know, guidance and things like that, go company. If you feel like you ready to become a business owner and you want to try that out, be a business owner, be an independent contractor. It's totally up to you. You can switch from one to the other at any time. You're not obligated or under any pressure. I can't have Ripley on the truck with me, y'all. So this is going to be very emotional for me, because I've never been anywhere without Ripley on the truck with me. So I haven't told him yet. I don't know how he's going to take it, but you know, I just don't know. He's going to be at the house at home, okay? We have to get our vehicles inspected to make sure that it is okay for a trainee to be on there. We have to make sure we clean. We must provide you a shower every other day, okay? At least every other day, okay? You must have a shower, okay? And that's not just for the trainee, that's for the trainer as well. We will go over personal hygiene as well. To make sure that we're going to the bathroom properly. But we have a lot of things that I will have to fill out. I will evaluate my student on a week to week basis to make sure that, you know, what they're struggling with, we go over. At any time, if you have any problems with your trainer, you always need to discuss that so it's not a surprise. If you're not picking up something, if you're not learning something, make sure you let your trainer know. We want to be, and I want to be able to set that standard as far as being professional, okay? Your trainer, I mean, you have to have mutual respect. I don't feel that you have to cuss at anybody, use profanity. I mean, you get in an emergency situation, okay, you may say something, you know, out the fly, but to use profanity as your daily way to communicate with others, it's just not me, okay? And it shouldn't be used in a professional environment, especially when you're trying to teach a student. If you don't have the patience, if you don't want to help other people to be successful in this career, because the only way that new people are going to learn is by the experienced people and the veterans helping the new people, okay? And it's not for everybody, but if you care about, I feel, if you care about, your family member being safe and make sure that we have safe drivers out here on the road, I don't see why someone wouldn't want to pass that knowledge on to somebody else. Okay, it's not for everybody, but the ones that do have that patience and that ones that, because you're going to get, you can't sit there and say, oh, my student don't know anything. Oh, they didn't teach them anything in school. That is now your job. Okay, they go to school for 3 weeks. They don't even back up in between two trailers. All that student knows is cones. That's all they know. They back up into cones. Okay. They're driving, when they're driving empty. They don't even know how a loaded trailer feels. Okay. They never drove bobtail. Okay. They never been to Tennessee. You got to be back at the school at 5 o'clock. Okay. So as a trainer, we take on that responsibility for that student, knowing that they have, no knowledge of how to do a lot of things. So now that we are a trainer, we are the ones that take that responsibility to show them how to do those things. Okay. Like I say, we have making sure they could do logs, making sure they checking their mirrors, making sure they utilizing the Smith system, making sure they able to make their turns correctly, making sure that they can back up. They're in control of the vehicle. We have to check to make sure if the driver is, how do you check for fatigue? You ask them where what's the last mile marker. You want to make training not a boring or harsh experience, but to make it a fun experience, so people are really, because you remember things that you've done in your life that was a positive experience. Things that you do in your life that are positive, we always remember that. So I always remember my training because it was a positive experience for me. By week 3, you're going to be ready to get off that truck. Okay, you're going to be tired, you're going to want to go home, but you have to dig deep and make sure that you complete it. Okay, we also have to make sure that be aware of what sexual harassment is. Okay, to make sure that our behavior between the trainer and the co-driver or the student is very professional. We have to make sure that we don't say, any unwanted verbal or physical context of any conduct of any sexual nature. We have to make sure that a person doesn't feel uncomfortable or create an offensive work environment. Sex harassment can be in the form of a joke, comment, statement, or observation that person feels was inappropriate. So if I feel that you're inappropriate by, saying stuff, it could be considered harassment. Okay, so we always have to be careful of that. Women train women, men train men. When I was here before, the men trained females. If you was married, if you was a trainer that was married, then you had to get a written statement from your wife in order to train. Okay, your wife had to sign off on you to train a female student. Okay, so now you don't have to worry about that because the men only train the men, the women only train the women. We do have, let's see, what everybody want to know. Make sure we conduct ourselves, professionally at the customers. You do not want to be banned from a customer, okay? You just don't want that to happen. Our appearance, make sure that, we have a barber shop now, so there's no reason why we should be walking around looking like a hot mess, okay? We're going to go over our Qualcomm. We're going to go over our macros. We're going to teach you how to scale your load, your mirror. So it's a lot that goes on in that 6 weeks, okay? And Everybody want to know if you're interested in being a trainer. You do have to. If you come into KLLM with experience, say you got 15 years in the industry, and you come to KLM and you decide that you want to be a trainer, you have to wait 90 days to become a trainer as an experienced driver. Now, if you already work, if you came through the school and you've been here for over a year and been through your winners and meet the qualifications, then you can become a trainer then. Okay, so I met the qualifications. I've been here over a year, and that's what I decided to do. We still hold training classes like every Thursday. There is more men trainers, and that way is because we're trying to cut down on unprofessional people that is training. They want professional people to be in the training field. We don't want you out there, just treating your student like a logbook, okay? And your student comes back after 6 weeks, they don't know how to log, they wouldn't let them touch the Qualcomm, they wouldn't let them back up, they wouldn't let them do anything. So they want to make sure that you are learning something, you are being safe, so you are well prepared when you are out here by yourself and as a solo driver. When you come back in from training, you will have to upgrade. You will have to take a test. You will have to take a driving test down in Jackson and come back, and there's an open book test that you have to pass. And if they feel like you qualified, then you will get your first seat driver and you'll be good to go. Okay. What do you want? Training pay. So if you become a trainer, this is what the training pay looks like. Okay. As a student, you do get paid. I think it's like $500 a week before taxes or something like that. But you do get paid as a student driver. Also, we do pay for our students as a trainer. We pay something like $28 a day or something for our student, okay, to be on the truck with us. The good thing about training, I mean, we have our reasons for being a trainer, but you get a very good compensation. One of your compensations that you get paid on all miles. So if you and your student is doing 5,000 to 6,000 miles a week, you get paid the 90 cents per mile plus the fuel surcharge on all miles for your student. Okay. Also, if you are on a dedicated account, you get an extra $150 a week for being on a dedicated account with your student. I mean, like a regional account, okay? When your student comes back and that student successfully upgrades, you also get an additional 2 cents per mile that you and your student drove throughout the whole 6 weeks, okay? So if you drove 10,000 miles or 8,000 miles, you get 2 cents for every mile that you and your student drove, okay? So you can get, I don't know, up to $1,000 that way. If your student decides to go lease purchase after they upgrade, and that's totally up to them. If they decide to do that, the student and the instructor will go over to recruiting. If that instructor or that trainer was a good trainer and they felt like they learned a lot from that trainer, then that trainer is also eligible for another $1,000. Okay, so it's our best incentive to be able to get out here and teach these students, these trainees, the right way of doing things so that they can be successful as well, okay? There are plenty of students that do not feel that they had a good trainer. At any time, if you feel like you're in an unsafe situation, you always notify I think they have like a driver liaison now that you notify, and they will get you off that truck and get you with another trainer, okay? So you don't have to feel intimidated, embarrassed. We just have to keep it professional, y'all. But I did get my truck. I have a 2015, I told y'all, 2015 Volvo. I did take a picture of it, okay, and put it on my page. Right now, I'm getting everything checked out, getting it detailed, and I should be ready to roll this weekend. Um, no later than Monday, I should be out of here. I wanted to go through Volvo to make sure that it's, checking out okay. And there was a couple of things that I saw that needed to be fixed, so I'm gonna get that fixed before I leave. I will be leaving out with a student, okay? What I think I'm gonna do is go home so I can put everything in the truck, and then when I come back to Jackson, I will pick up my student and we will be on the road. I don't think I will be doing any videos of me training or being with my student or anything like that, because this is a learning experience for both of us. And right now, we need to focus on training and make sure that we're safe first. And there's some things that I'm gonna be reaching out to other trainers and asking for advice, and because I don't know everything. So with my student, if I don't know something, baby, we could pick up the phone and call somebody that do know something, okay? Because there's plenty of people that know more than me, okay? They tell me that every day. They tell me that every day. There's a lot of them out there that know more than me, so I could pick up the phone and call any one of them. They'll be glad to tell me what to do, honey. But as anything that you do new is exciting, I'm nervous, which I should be. But overall, I think it will be okay. I will figure out if this is going to be for me to do. And I'm going to try to make the best of it, and I'm going to try to make it an enjoyable experience. And hopefully this will be something good. So we will see. I will still give you my weekly updates about me being on the road and, me training and things like that. But if you don't hear from me or post or things, picking up the phone and all that kind of stuff, just remember, I have a student with me, so I'm trying to concentrate on that and make sure that I be the best trainer that I can be, okay? And that, I make sure that I instill KLLM policies and procedures the best of my ability, okay? And the main thing is about, making sure that we're okay, making sure that we're safe, and getting through this process, okay? So that's my update, family. I love y'all, and I appreciate you, sticking with me through this transition. It's been, crazy. Just who would have thought, okay? Sometimes God puts things in your way and moves you in different directions that you would have never thought, honey. But you just roll with it, and you try different things. And just to let y'all know, if you are interested in getting in this career and doing trucking, look into it. Look at the different companies. It may be something that you want to do, but prepare yourself, okay? Because life out here on this road is not a vacation, okay? It's a lot of hard work that goes on behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see, okay? So, we take our jobs very seriously. We know that we have your families in our hands, and we must be always safe at all times. So, family, I love you. I will holler at y'all later. And I will give you an update of my truck. So I will be doing a video. This time it will be on my own truck, okay? Shout out to everybody that came, upgraded, that got their CDL at the school. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to my Team RG family, Boosters Grinders. Thank y'all so much for your support. Shout out to my Facebook family, my y'all over there. I mean, hey, Thank you for having my back. Thank you for riding with me. Thank you for just being there supporting me. You just really don't know how much I appreciate it, and I love y'all. Peace, love, joy, and happiness, and y'all have a wonderful and blessed day. Bye.